The traditional leadership model is outdated. Created by men for men, the corporate world is naturally masculine in its approach. Women have learned to earn a seat at the table by acting like men. But while she looks like a successful, confident woman from the outside looking in, she doesn't always feel good. She's exhausted, feels like a fraud, and is starting to question if it's all worth it. It's no surprise to me that more women than ever resonate with feeling like an imposter when they're acting like someone they're not. It is time for a new era of healthy feminine leadership that the world is crying out for. The woman that can set down the mask of fake confidence and bring her whole authentic self to the table will not only address the workplace balance and shift the shape of corporate as we know it, she'll also exponentially improve her work-life satisfaction and fulfillment levels. This, my friend, is the modern LeadHer way. Hello and welcome to the Modern LeadHer Way, the podcast for women who are leading or aspire to lead in corporate and want to feel good on the way to the top. My name is Emma Clayton, I'm your host, and I'm here to tell you that you don't need to sacrifice your soul in the name of success. We're going rogue on the old paradigm of overworking and over-delivering to prove yourself worthy of a seat at the table, in favour of a more balanced approach that is rooted in knowing who you are as a leader and what you want from life beyond the salary and status of your job. We're diving in deep with this conversation, which meets you at the intersection of your personal and professional development. Expect no frills, real talk, and tangible advice to help you experience more confidence, more impact, and more fulfillment in work and life. Welcome to the Modern LeadHer Way. Let's get into it. Well, hey, we are back with season 4. Can you believe it? On the podcast. I am so happy to be back after what was a very quick summer. So I hope it was a good one. If you are back with me, having been here before, I'm so happy you're back. And if you're new to the podcast, welcome. I can't wait to get to know you. Speaking of which, I actually have a current survey that I have out there. It's a leadership survey. So if you find yourself in a leadership position or on a leadership development path in your career or your business, then I would love to get some feedback from you around what your current challenges and struggles are, what you really want from your career path. And it's a quick survey. I am actually offering a 20-minute call with me to discuss anything that comes up for you as you go through the survey once you've completed it. So if you are down for a bit of survey completion, please do follow the link in the show notes to a Google form, because this will really help inform the episodes that I bring to you in the future across this season. So yeah, I very much appreciate in advance you taking the time to complete that form. And then I look forward to chatting to you one-to-one. Now, one of the things that this intentional break has really offered me is a space, right? A chance to breathe and to really step back and sort of zoom out and look back at what it is I'm doing with this podcast, with my work in the world. And it's really made me want to go back to basics. And what I did actually when I was travelling last, I went down to Somerset recently to spend the weekend with a friend. I listened to the very early episodes on this podcast and I was like, oh God, there's some gold in there. And it's almost like there's a need to revisit those foundational pieces sometimes. So what we're doing as part of this relaunching the podcast for season 4 is we're going to revisit those foundations and we're going to remind ourselves what it means to be a modern leader and what the modern LeadHer way really stands for. And I want to say this, I never want to lead you down a path that you don't want to go down, that's not naturally for you. I only ever want to create a new awareness for you, like open your eyes to potentially why something might be playing out for you in your life and offer different perspectives on how to look at things, as well as solutions to help you move through some of those things, right? And it is only ever my intention to help you find what feels good for you, to help you find what is your most natural nature when it comes to being a leader, whether it's in the corporate space, whether it's in your own business, whether it's in a charitable space, whether it's in your life, right, in your home. I want to help you find what feels most authentic, what feels most natural, what fits most comfortably for you to move through this life in and have the impact and the influence that you came here to have. And as such, the knock-on impact of that is you actually get paid what you want. You get the income that you desire. And here's why I do what I do, right? I am really wanting to address what I see as a bit of an epidemic out there, where women in particular are overgiving, they're overworking, they're pushing and striving in their careers, in their lives, only to be left feeling like underwhelmed and unsatisfied with life, wondering like what it's all for. And you can tell me if you resonate with this, but it's only when you stop that you realise you're actually disconnected from yourself, probably your partner as well. You're not being as present as you could be with your kids. You're living for the weekend or the next holiday abroad. Life is flying by, and before you know it, you've achieved that last goal, that last project, that last promotion, that last pay rise, whatever it was that you were striving for, and you're already on to the next thing. And it's kind of exhausting and tiring and soul destroying. And I say this from my own experience, as well as having worked with many women since I left the corporate world after a 20-year career 7 years ago. So I've seen this time and time again, to have the certainty around the fact that this is actually happening very frequently out there. And it might be happening to, you know, a woman sat next to you in the office or one of your friends, and perhaps they don't even realise this is happening to them. Perhaps they just think this is normal. This is just what life is. And I am here to tell you it is not all that life is. And when you can slow down or even stop for a moment just to take that step back and look in on your life and maybe even get some help, right, from someone that has been there before you, through podcasts, through coaching, whatever it is, through listening to audio books, reading books, all the things, then you get to decide, is this the way life is going to be moving forward, or do you choose something different? Because what I have also learned through my last 7 years, and also working with many women who are leading in corporate, who are leading their own businesses, is that when we can strip all that stuff back that no longer serves us, when we can decide how we want to move forward as a fully embodied feminine leader whose presence is profound just by being in the room, who has a real true confidence about her because she's put down that mask of fake confidence and she no longer experiences the anxieties she did before, and she's on path and purpose to making a difference, to having the impact and the influence she wants to in this life. That is what it's all about. So my intention with this podcast is to do just that, is to help you to help you step back, to slow down, to take a look and to take stock and to decide what it is you do want, because it is available to you. Whatever it is that you want is available to you. So I work on a real holistic approach. So I'm not just looking at you in the workplace, how you're showing up at work and addressing those kind of challenges that you come up against, although that is a big part of it, right? It's a big part of your life, is your work life. But it's not the only part, because behind the title or the role that you play is a real human in a physical form that may be experiencing, symptoms, a lack of energy, physical problems. You may not be feeling as sprightly as you once did. And you are moving through this life, and as life be lifing, you have a number of emotions that come up and things to deal with and challenges and troubles and all the things. And therefore you are a whole person in this lifetime. It's not just the work that defines you. It's like who you're being in every aspect of your life. And that's who I work with. That's why I call myself a confidant and coach, because I'm not just here to coach you in the workplace like an exec coach might do. I'm here to really be that confidant for you behind the scenes, the woman behind the scenes that is dealing with life and everything that life throws at you. I am here for it all, and I have zero judgment for anything that comes up for you, and I hold a beautiful, sacred, safe space for you to be entirely human. So that's what I'm all about with my work, and it's really hard to put into words, but I hope over the next few episodes to give you a flavour for the journey that I want to take you on. If you're here listening to the podcast, or if you're working with me in any capacity, whether that's through my coaching and mentoring, whether that's through coming along to my retreats, working with me one-to-one in a group, this is what it's all about. So ensure you're subscribed and you're following the show. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the listening platforms that you can imagine, and we're also on YouTube. So if you want to get the video version, we are getting back to video after this little relaunch that we're doing right now. So be sure to subscribe and follow us over there too. Remember that there is that leadership survey. If you want to go and check that out, there is no obligation to complete it. There is no obligation to leave your details. But if you do, then I would love to offer you something in return for your time taken to just tell me where you're at and what it is that you're looking for help with and support, because that's what I want this podcast to be all about, is to really be practical advice to help you move through the challenges as and when they come up in life and in work. So that's all for today. Come back tomorrow, right? There's going to be a little daily drop over the next couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to getting really back into it, getting super specific, diving deep, and I also look forward to hearing from you. So in the meantime, take care and lots of love.